And while Collingwood Geelong sit 1-2, the Fremantle Dockers head into the bye in third spot, but desperate to play down growing expectations. Freo showing plenty of resolve last night to beat the Western Bulldogs by 7 points.
A stirring victory, and more importantly, one Freo would historically lose.
Lower, runs, left foot, throws it long. Sparkling game. One of the games of the year.
Yeah, that roar that was going in that last quarter, it's like being at the MCG with 80 or 90,000 people.
The game, far from a showpiece of fabulous skills, but did prove the Dockers are finals contenders. Some may even be bold enough to declare them a challenger to Collingwood for the flag.
We're not there yet, no. We're sort of aiming and working hard towards it.
The captain, drawing on the Anzac spirit, 10 News understands Matthew Pavlich read out a letter written by a war hero that was sent to his mother. His teammates responding with plenty of passion. Luke McFarlane's courage unquestionable.
We spoke about courage and sacrifice and in our game, in the air and at ground level. Well, he provided that moment that we, and I mentioned it at three-quarter time.
The Dockers' lesson aims deciding the result. Jay Van Berlo sneaking under the Dogs' guard, booting 4 goals. Kepler Bradley is fast becoming a fan favourite after years as the most jeered player in purple. Bradley also with 4.
My heart's always in my mouth when Kepler's involved. He just keeps me on the edge of that boy.
Freo fans preferring to vent their frustration at the umpires, and had good reason when this obvious run out of bounds by Brian Lake wasn't recalled and resulted in a goal. Fair to say, boundary umpire Jace Collingridge is in the bad books. The West Aussie faces a lengthy stint on the sidelines as punishment. Lockie Reed, 10 News.
And while Stephen Hill celebrated his 50th game milestone last night, the Dockers could soon be looking at a younger version. Stephen's brother Brad is playing Colts footy at West Perth and is eligible for this year's draft. In his 5 games with the Falcons, he's averaged nearly 17 touches a game and 5 tackles.
Yeah, I think he's coming along. He's improving a lot since last year and stuff. I'll try and give him a few little tips and stuff just to keep working on his game.
As well as his brother in the crowd on the weekend, there was also several AFL scouts, but Stephen is confident his sibling can handle the focus that'll come from carrying the Hill name.
I think he'll cope with it okay. I think he'll just, he won't worry about that too much and just keep worrying about his footy.
Freo fans will have their fingers crossed. It'll be a profitable family affair.
The Fremantle Dockers have stamped themselves as genuine top 4 prospects after a thrilling 7-point win over the Western Bulldogs last night. Van Berlo and Bradley kicked 8 goals between them as the Dockers beat the Bulldogs for the first time in 7 attempts.
In humid and slippery conditions, it wasn't the prettiest of wins.
Bradley, don't tell me, he keeps it in, dives, kicks, goals. They made hard work of it. It's a 1-point game.
Down by 7 points with just minutes remaining, the Dockers called on every bit of Anzac spirit. Nick Lower with the sealer.
Throws it long. Sparkling game. One of the games of the year.
An elated Mark Harvey knew his men had come of age.
So our guys know how to win now, and that's important. And when the game presents itself in that manner, to see them fight through it and make sure that we stamp ourselves on our home ground is important.
The Len Hall tribute match saw an unlikely hero in Jay Van Berlo producing the best game of his career.
Van Berlo for number 4. Where's he been?
Kepler Bradley also booted 4, the stirring win doing wonders for Freo's growing self-belief.
We're pretty confident now and we keep backing ourselves and, we're holding off games and winning them.
Lisa Dalton, 7 News.
And Mark Harvey joins me now. We just saw those images of you celebrating on the final siren, Coach. It was a win that really meant something to you.
Oh, an epic battle. It had everything. Typified the day and what we remember. A lot of warfare going on out there and some unknown goal kickers for us. I think it was about 2 or 3 minutes to go and thought the game might have been beyond us, but they rallied again, the players.
Well, there's an old-fashioned saying in footy halves, good teams know how to win. You said that on the ground after the match. What exactly does that mean? Because you appear now to be one of those teams.
Well, reality is if we keep beating, say, top 4 sides, even though they're from last year, is that you're heading in the right direction. So, and the players are finding a way rather than dropping away when the pressure and the game presents itself in that manner, particularly in the last quarter.
Let's take some time to talk about Kepler Bradley. Essendon didn't want him. A lot of Freo supporters weren't sure. Why were you so convinced he was worth persevering with?
Look, I always thought that he had some attributes that suggested that he would be a forward, in my opinion. So hence I thought it was a bargain for us to get him back. He wanted to come back to WA. The fit was for us, and ever since he's been here, he creates a different type of atmosphere around the club, and the way he's playing, more importantly, is really exciting the team.
Does he still make you nervous when he gets the footy?
Every time he touches the footy.
He's a good West Perth boy. Greg Broughton, a late withdrawal last night. What was wrong?
Yeah, just back related. I think he should be okay for the Richmond game in 2 weeks' time.
And as it turns out, the error didn't prove costly, Halves. I'm talking about the boundary umpire with Brian Lake. How do we make sure these things just don't happen in football?
Well, there is 2 boundary umpires now, so you perhaps thought it should have been given. But anyway, it's over now, and we move on. We've won the game, and it's not something we need to worry about.
Richmond in a couple of weeks. Enjoy the week off. You're sitting third. Well done, Halves. A great start to the year.
Thanks, Basil.